Alright, so welcome to the legendary Interlagos circuit for the Brazilian Grand Prix. I qualified third. See, I knew those aero upgrades would help out a lot. Now I just gotta get those powertrain upgrades. However, one of the aero upgrades failed, unfortunately, in quality control. But I'm redoing the upgrade. But after this race, though, I should get the upgrade. Now I just gotta try to save up enough money and get the powertrain upgrades. Then the car should be maxed out in terms of its upgrades. Either way, got 18 laps around this fast short circuit. I don't know if any of you raced on the original Interlagos. I raced on it in the other games out there, and the original Interlagos is one huge track. It was a track that took well over 2 minutes to lap. It was a huge racetrack.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if of course the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bird, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz and Verstappen, Gasly, Russell, Norris and Charles Leclerc, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Louis Delatraz and Ocon, Stroll, Tictum and Guan Yu Zhou and Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Mazepin and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Definitely want to lighten the load on the fuel.
I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Yeah, at least that much fuel will do, and I'll go with the strategy the engineers have picked. Actually, it's just a little bit less fuel. Alright, that should be good. Yep. Alright. And it's lights out and away we go in Brazil. I'm not letting Sir Lewis get around me that easily. And I just gotta try to stay with Checo and Valtteri. right side's got caught in the grass there. Just trying to keep up with Checo and Valtteri. Just trying to keep up with them.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah. Don't bother me about that, Jeff. I know Sir Lewis is right on my gearbox. Don't need to tell me. Just need to keep my eyes focused straight ahead of the guys in front of me. Sergio lost a little ground there. Got a chance at getting around him.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Try to sneak by him going into the corner. And of course he obviously pinned me down. But I'm gonna stick with the original strategy. I don't want to go with the other strategy. I'd rather stick with the original strategy. I don't want to change the strategy. I don't want to stay out longer. Because if I do that, I'm royally screwed.
We're slowly gaining on the car in front. Try to keep this momentum.
And I knew Valtteri was going to turn right down on me. So typical of the darn AI in this game.
The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
Alright, time to suck the air off his car and then get around him. Alright, out front in Brazil. Got the lead. Good. Valtteri's out of DRS range, which is really good. So you shouldn't get any DRS, which is excellent.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. We're leading our teammate by 11.0 seconds.
Valtteri should be out of DRS range. If you're wondering what I'm doing is I'm saving a bit of fuel, so that way then I have enough to at least have a final charge in a way.
Pit window open.
All
Let's
right.
box this lap.
Alright, gonna be diving into the pits this lap. I got Valtteri and Checo coming right behind me. Looks like Carlos is gonna stay out an extra lap.
Go now.
2.3, good stop guys. Very good stop.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
Alright. There we go. I'm gonna have to really go, that's for sure. Louis in.
Louis is in the pits. Louis in the pits.
Alright.
Our gap to the car in front is 1.6 seconds.
Got the lead back, which is excellent.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Fastest lap.
Gap to teammate behind is 15.6 seconds.
Alright, and I could pretty much go on the offense. Should have enough fuel to make it. Just wasn't sure if I'd have enough fuel because I was looking at what my comfort zone was in terms of the fuel. But yeah, it seems like I got enough fuel. Seems like I got enough fuel to make it the distance. Could just build up enough of a gap and then I can just coast it home. of a biatch.
This is your final lap of the race. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
You can just cruise it on home. Alright. Ayrton Senna's cheering from heaven. Score the win. Score the win here in Brazil.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
Another superb Brazilian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Sebastian Vettel would definitely be my first choice. He showed up a lot of the drivers out on the track today and didn't show any signs of slowing down.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
If only I didn't get
Great work out there
too
today.
excited on the
Let's have your
throttle
thoughts.
there.
Things are looking up after last week, aren't they?
Yeah.
We all underestimated you, didn't we? Great. Well, that's everything.
Yeah, I just got a little too excited on the throttle there, and the rear tires just slipped. The car just didn't have the grip there. But I'm just happy finally get a good result. But yeah, winning in the late grade Ayrton Senna's home country makes me happy. You know, because I honestly idolize Ayrton Senna. He to me is one of the greatest drivers of all time. You know, he really had talent, and plus he was a guy that wasn't afraid to speak at least, for the people, and for guys like me, But yeah, I think of some of Senna's quotes, I mean, they really get to me. And I think, one quote that really got to me and Ayrton Senna was when he talked about, that one thing in Formula One that drivers have to accept is the danger of getting hurt or dying, and that's something I greatly accept. You either face those dangers or you just drop it. You just stop and you just leave the product/sport completely. That's one reason why I have so much more respect for those drivers than I do for a lot of the modern day drivers, because those drivers to me were real men. I mean, they weren't afraid to strap in behind a car and drive, but they knew the dangers, of racing, because motor racing is dangerous. It's not safe, and you can't ever make it completely safe.
Unfortunately, we need you to step in and make an executive decision here.
About our work rates running extremely well, seeing increasing rates of stress and burnout. Just do well. We don't want to risk a sudden decline in our performance over a circuit breaker. Yeah.
Thanks.
They need
I know these kind of
break.
decisions can be challenging, but I think you made the right call.
Yeah, like I said, the staff really need a break. Can't push them because, like I said, you know me, I care about my people. I care about my my employees, Aero team building, and then do driver promotion, filming, and then that should do it. Alright. So yeah, and then Australia, I could use this one, or I'd honestly go with the more used equipment in a way for Australia, because Australia isn't really a power track. Australia is more of a technical track. So, yeah, it's more of a technical circuit. I saw they're making some changes to the Australian Grand Prix circuit. Alright, let's go ahead and advance the time. Should get that aero upgrade that unfortunately didn't pass. Didn't pass,
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Good. So I got that aero upgrade, so now the aero is completely maxed out, which is awesome. So I got all the aero upgrades, all the chassis upgrades. Now I just gotta grab the powertrain upgrades, and then the car is complete, and the car is fully upgraded. Just gotta save up enough money to get Spec 3 of the fabrication of the powertrain. And hopefully with the results in Australia, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi, I can get them before the end of the season. So yeah, either way, the next episode we go to the land down under on the streets of Melbourne, Australia, and Albert Park. So I'll see you guys there. Bye.